Hi. So I wanted to send home some homework for you guys for this weekend. Um, when I send homework home for, sorry, when I send homework home for clients, let's set up some expectations. 30 seconds, a few times throughout your day. That's it. I'm not asking you to do 30 minutes of training, 20 minutes of training. It really is sprinkles throughout your day that are just 30-second intervals. If you do more than that, gold star, like 2 gold stars. I'm just looking for ways to find, I want you to find ways to integrate these skills in your day to day. You're brushing your teeth, and you're like, Maddie. She comes, she sits in front of you, yes, good girl. And then you finish brushing your teeth. And then you're done. That's it. That's a whole training experience that I want you to start working on. I'm sorry. She pleases so hard. Like she just wants, like if she could live in your shirt, she'd be happy as pie. Uh, um, sorry, distracted. So 30 seconds throughout your day, a few times throughout the day. That's all I'm asking for. So when we discuss some of the skills, Maddie, yes. When we discuss these skills, it's all about how can you apply them in your day to day. You can go, of course, above and beyond, but what I want to find is integration. How do you make it part of where you're not thinking about it? It just naturally occurs, essentially. So the first command that I like to teach is called name game. Name game is where essentially you're teaching leave it, come, watch me, sit, and a little bit of body focus all rolled into her name as a command. So when you call her, essentially we're teaching all of those things without having to give her all of those things. So what I want you to do, for right now, you can use treats, you can use toys. Honestly, you could use yourselves. She is a very people-pleasing dog. But I'm going to show you the size of treats. It is a taste. It doesn't need to be a giant chunk or even bigger chunk. It is truly just a little bit of taste. Now, you can put your thumb over it, so then it's in your hand like this. She's not necessarily a chomper, so you could do this, but to save your hands or fingers, you can always do it like this. So, what you're going to do is you're going to call her name. You're going to make some kissing noises. You can lure her. So luring is having that treat in your hand and guiding her through it. Like her nose is going to be connected to your hand, and she has to sit in front of you and look at you. I don't want you to put hands up here. Your hands are not up here. They can be by your side or behind your back. But the idea is that she has to sit in front and look. That's all she gets. The moment she does it, you're going to mark it with a yes, a positive marker. Yes, you did it correctly. Give her a treat. Take a step away, do it again. So let me demonstrate. Maddie! So I'm gonna make some noises. I'm gonna lure her with that hand. Yes, good girl. And then I'm going to take a step, walk away, do it again. Maddie! So see how she's sitting behind me? She's like, I'm seeing you, but I'm not actually coming around to you. So this is where you're gonna use your negative marker. I'm gonna take a step, reset it, and then, Maddie! No, I'm luring her, making some kisses. Yes, good girl. Now she is laying down. It is a pleasing behavior. It's going above and beyond. I'll reward it for right now, as long as she comes in front of you. But walk away. Do it again. Maddie! Yes, good girl. Maddie! Yes, good girl. Maddie! Yes! And that time I didn't even have to lure her. That's name game. Now, I think hopefully you watched the other video that I sent you, which again, I apologize, it was so late at night when I sent it to you. But she puts her butt down and then she very confidently does plop, plop, wiggle, wiggle. Like she wiggles into it. It is a very cute puppy mechanics. It is, you don't see it often in puppies, but she's just like so excited to do something that she's like, oh my goodness, she does it with an extra flourish. So, name game, little time start your day. You're gonna go through a door. Maddie. Yes, okay, let's go through the door. The reward can be walking out the door. If you're getting ready to feed her or you're getting ready to play with her, here's a squeaky toy, right? She's, oh, it's so fun. Oh, it's a donut. Maddie, sit. Yes! Then you can toss the toy. And she could go chase the toy. You're playing fetch, you're doing anything like that. Call her name, Maddie. Yes! And then off you go. Now, the hardest part of this command is for us. A lot of times what we as humans want to do is, Maddie, sit, and come here, Maddie, come on, let's go, come, right? What I want you to do is you have to cut all that extra words off, because what we want to teach her is just her name only once is a cue in and of itself. Maddie. And if she's not quite paying attention to it, now the other part of this is that she is doing pleasing behavior. She is looking at me, and especially like when I was turned here and she's laying down behind me and she's like, I'm looking at you. But what we're teaching her is that when you call her name, it's not just look at me. I need you to make eye contact with me in front of me, which is where turning your body away from her and she has to come around to you is part of this command. Hi, sweet girl. Yes. She's a little tired. But when you lure, you can have that treat. You can, come on. Yay! You got to make it a game. You got to make it a party so that she wants to come in front of you. You can also do this with family members in the house. Play a game of hide and go seek with her. Play monkey in the middle with her. And when she finds you, yes, good girl, yes. The idea is that we're loading not only her name as all these commands, but also that you, the people, are such a high positive association that she's like, oh, where are you? This is building in a check-in for when we work on impulse control with Leave It. When we work on, I see another dog, but I don't get to say hi while on leash. All of this is a foundational skill. It really is building that really strong foundation for it. The other thing that I want you to work on is, let me grab the bed, is the introduction of place. So how I like to teach, hi, back up. How I like to teach stay or place or wait. Yeah, I know, you're jumping ahead of the game, kid. And I'm going to move this down so my head might be cut off, but I want you to really see her. So I do apologize if it looks a little funky. But what I want to teach her is that when you ask her to go onto something, carpet, place cot, rug, couch ottoman, it doesn't really matter what it is, but when you ask her to go on it and tell her place, she doesn't move off of it. That she is essentially on floating dog island, and I have to wait until I hear a certain key term to come off of it. Now, when you do this, most people use stay. I like to kind of start with a fresh command of place. You can call it park it. It doesn't really matter what you call it. It's just a set command of hold what you're doing. Now, I only teach place personally. The reason why is that when we have wait, stay, and place, we kind of use all three unilaterally. Like we just like, we'll use this and we'll use this as like different flavors. So when we only have one command for duration, she's going to be a lot more solid and a lot more consistent for you guys. We will eventually have her just on the ground. It doesn't matter where you put her butt to teach that place. But right now, think of things that have a physical boundary. Now, she's more comfortable with like this mat versus the place cot because it's a little bit lower to the ground, but it has a set boundary. Maddie, good. It has a set boundary. There is a visual boundary that she can see, so that's what we want to work on. Ideally, it's something that's just slightly off the ground. But again, place cot, you can use a dog bed, you can use a towel. I just want to start picking things around the house that you're going to put her on. Once she's on it, Maddie, come here. Okay. So let me show you how to get her on it. So for right now, you can do a treat in your hand. She's going to offer it anyways. You're going to ask her for a sit. You're going to give a flat hand place and then put that hand away. You don't want to keep your hand here because then she learns to watch that hand. So place, I want you to take a step away. If she tries to come off of it, you're going to step back towards her, tell her, place. And then to release her, you're going to choose your release command. I generally teach the dog's name and okay. But if you want to use free, break, free puppy, I mean, it really doesn't matter what the word is. Sorry, had a slight camera issue. So it doesn't matter what release command you use to teach the dog off. You're going to ask her point, sit, place. If she lays down when you ask that, it's pleasing. It's okay. She's going above and beyond. Take a step away, wait a second, and then Maddie, okay. She gets to chase after that item. I don't want you to focus on getting her to sit when she comes off of it. I don't want you to do any finisher, like fancy, like, oh, I'm sitting after you recall, because we don't want to quote unquote poison the command. We don't want her to hesitate to come to you. I want her to, I'm moving. So what you're going to do, just to recap, because I know that was a lot of words, Maddie, you're going to point to an object. You can have a treat in that hand. Maddie, sit. You're going to tell her place. I want you to take a step away. Wait a second. And then, okay, she gets to go chase after it. When we teach place, we're going to work on our thresholds: distance, distraction, duration, and environments. Pick one. Slowly build it. Then choose another one. So if you ask her for a place and I walk a couple steps away, then okay, I'm not worried about time. I'm thinking about how far away can I get from you. Come here. Sit. Place. Oh no. Sorry, the toy's kind of far away. But if I'm going to do a distraction, place, can I toss a ball up and down right next to her? Maddie, okay. And then she can have the ball as the reward. But notice how I was right next to her. I'm not far away throwing the ball up and down. I'm not throwing it away from me, but we're slowly building each one. Eventually, you can combine all of them. Place and teaching place like this, have fun teasing your dog. See where she's at with this. But I'd also challenge you, could you put her on place in your kitchen on a mat and you unload the dishwashers? Could you put her in place and you bring groceries inside the house? Now that's probably a harder one that we'll have to tackle down the road, but the more that she gets comfortable being put on something and she just has to essentially hold that command, that's what we're teaching. Now if she tries to get up off it, it's you're gonna put her right back. And when I say put her right back, ideally you push her with your body back onto it. Now if she goes that way, you have to climb over the place cot. That's where you're like, hey, come here, come on, yeah. Okay, let's get back here, sit, place, do it again. Rule of thumb, if you break it, if she breaks place 3 times, reset to the easiest level that it is, reward it, go off to do something else instead. That way you don't burnt out and neither does she. Now, also a rule of thumb for puppies and for your sweet golden or cream is that, I don't know if you can see it, but she's like half of her butt is hanging off of this. You get to decide what you're okay with in terms of that boundary. Ideally, her whole body is on it and she doesn't come off of it. It's really noticeable when they're in a place cot. And if she tries to like sneak where half of her body is on it and half of it's off, that's where it's we don't want to do that. I want you all the way back up there. You get to decide what the boundary is. I'm okay with a little bigger room, especially with puppies. A little wiggle room is okay. Completely off of it or half of her body off it, get back up on there. I want them to have that awareness. Okay. Good girl. Yes. But notice how she's coming up on this on her own. She is offering the behavior because she's learned by association. Ooh, I get treats when I stay on this. I get good things when I go on this. Now, you can practice with a place cot. I think I had it in the video from yesterday where she was a little hesitant with the place cot. That's not uncommon. Yes. This is going to be more of that 3-dimensional training. She might be more comfortable with beds and carpets and stuff like that. But ideally, I can pull out a chair down the road. And this is where I would teach her to get up on the chair. Oh, yes. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Yes. And teach her place on the chair. Now, again, higher level because it's a brand new object. But it doesn't matter where you put her as long as we learn the mechanics first. So right now, mechanics on a carpet, on a rug, on a bed, that's what we're teaching first. She's going to hold it for a second, then you're going to release her with Maddie okay or Maddie free, break, whatever word you want to use. And then she gets to chase after the treat. We hold and release. Those are the only 2 things that I want you guys to work on this week. Or weekend, I should say. Have fun with it. Be silly with it. Little times throughout your day. And then see where you can integrate them in your day-to-day. Whoops. I just cut my head off from the video. She is a smart dog. She is a sweet dog. But keep it fun. Keep it light. We'll get into the harder stuff first. But I want to build up her confidence as we work through this. Let me know if you have any questions and we'll go from there.